You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 257.1, the Central Indiana Scoreboard Show. Our update on high school, college, and professional sports news in Central Indiana, like your daily audio sports section every single weekday between 1 and 2.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we thank you for spending part of your day with us. Today is May 6, 2025. It's a Tuesday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. I am coming to you today from Madison Grant High School. Producer Susie is in the control room at headquarters in Jeffersonville. Coming up, we have updates on the Pacers, the NBA playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Crossroads Baseball Championship between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan, plus tons of local high school action on the baseball and softball fields, the tennis courts, the tracks, and the golf courses, and the best news and notes section in all of Central Indiana sports podcasting. But first, this is the part of the podcast where I beg you to go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Just go to YouTube and put in the search Central Indiana Sports Report. It's easy to find. Please do it so you don't miss a single segment. There is so much at our YouTube channel right now. In the last couple of days, we've added our Madison County Sports Report with Rob Hunt, featuring the baseball championship game between LaPel and Pendleton Heights, plus a lot of Madison County softball. The Pacers and Cavs Game 2 preview we had earlier today. The IU report with Grant Schaus on updates on IU baseball, softball, men's and women's basketball, and football. Will Rutherford's 5 questions that need answers, a good one this week. That'll be out a little later on Tuesday. And late tonight, you'll get our instant reaction to the Pacers Cavs Game 2, probably around 10 o'clock Tuesday night. So much going on, something for everybody. Why would you not subscribe? The Cleveland Cavaliers announced Monday that All-Star and Defensive Player of the Year Evan Mobley and their top sixth man, DeAndre Hunter, are both questionable for Game 2 with injuries that they sustained in Game 1. Leading scorer Darius Garland, also an All-Star, missed Game 1 with a toe injury and is also questionable for Tuesday's game in Cleveland. The Pacers are 16-7 all-time in playoff series after winning Game 1. They are 11-0 all-time after winning the first 2. Head coach Rick Carlisle says he expects a different type of game in Game 2 in Cleveland.
Look, the obvious expectation is that it's going to be more physical, going to be more pressure, it's going to be a louder building, and we've got to be prepared for all those forces coming at us.
The Pacers lead the series 1-0 after a 121-112 win in Cleveland on Sunday night. Indiana shot 53% from the field, made 19 of their 36 three-point attempts, and 14 of their 15 free throws. Not going to lose many games like that. They had 30 assists on 44 made baskets and had over 100 more passes than the Cavaliers in the win. That was according to Caitlin Cooper, and if you're not listening to her podcast and listening to her stuff, you got to. She is the best analyst in all of the NBA, and she writes for the Pacers. Go check her out. Basketball, she wrote, is the name of her column. Anyway, Miles Turner said the offensive success in Game 1 came from the Pacers being able to play their style of basketball.
I was moving. That's our brand of basketball. Just keep it humming. I think Tyrese did a good job of kind of establishing that early. And, we took shots that we wanted to take, not shots we were forced to take.
Somehow, despite being down a game and being down some players, the Cavaliers are 7.5-point favorites going into this game. That dropped from 9 on Monday. We previewed Tuesday's game on a podcast that was released earlier Tuesday morning. Please go check that out. Will Rutherford also talked about the Pacers and where they stand in the big picture of the NBA playoffs on 5 questions that need answers. That will be released Tuesday at 3. In game one in the other Eastern Conference semifinal, the Knicks came from 20 points down and beat the Celtics 108-105 in overtime. Reigning world champion Boston shot just 35.1% from the field and made just 15 of their 63 point attempts. Former IU Hoosier OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson both scored 29 points to lead New York. It was another thriller in the first game of the Western Conference semifinals. Nikola Jokic led a comeback with 42 points, 22 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 blocks. And Aaron Gordon hit the game winner, a three-pointer with 2.8 seconds left. And Denver upset top seed Oklahoma City 121-119. After game two of the Pacers-Cavs Tuesday, the Warriors and Timberwolves tip off their series in Minneapolis. Both games on Tuesday are on TNT and the Max app. John Robertson and I will be talking playoffs every day for the rest of the season through the NBA Finals. Probably not every day, almost every day. The first one will be out at 5 p.m. Tuesday. Every day we will review the previous games days and preview the games coming up that evening. In the hockey playoffs, Toronto took a 4-1 lead after 2 periods and held on to beat reigning Stanley Cup champion Florida 5-4 in Game 1 of their Eastern Conference semifinal series. There are 2 Game 1s Tuesday, starting with Alexander Ovechkin and the top seed Washington Capitals at home against the Carolina Hurricanes. That's at 7. Then Edmonton is in Vegas for what should be a great series. That starts at 9:30. Both games are on ESPN. Also Monday, the New York Islanders won the draft lottery and will pick first in the June 27 draft. To Major League Baseball, A.J. Smith-Shawver allowed just one Cincinnati Red hit in 8 innings, and the Atlanta Braves opened their series in Cincinnati with a 4-0 win. The Cubs beat the Giants 9-2 behind Ian Happ's 3-for-3 performance that included his 3rd home run of the season. The Cubs now lead the Reds and defending NL Central champion Brewers by 4 games atop the NL Central. The Cardinals are 5 games back. To our news and notes, the IHSA sent out a news release Monday with a couple of big news items. First, the board of directors approved Rule 19 that states that first-time transfers will maintain their varsity eligibility, and they added girls flag football as an emerging sport. The new bylaws take effect on June 1. IU's Jake Hanley was named Big Ten Baseball Freshman of the Year. Hanley is batting .346 with 13 home runs and 46 RBIs in his first year in Bloomington. IU football has added former Cal receiver Jonathan Brady. Brady played with current IU quarterback Fernando Mendoza with the Bears. That comes on the heels of signing Franklin High School's defensive lineman Blake Smythe. Ball State's women's basketball added another foreign signee in Spain's Lauren Martinez, and the Ball State football team signed former Ohio State kicker Jackson Corville. Former Franklin star Braden Douglas got his 100th career college hit at Vincennes on Friday. Douglas is batting .346 with 23 RBIs this year and will play at IUK starting next year as a junior. Clinton Prairie announced that star basketball player Jake McGraw, who led the Gophers to a state runner-up finish, will continue his basketball career at IUK. Kokomo junior Barris Moore said on Twitter Friday that he's received an offer from St. Francis to continue his football career, and Western Illinois has offered Westfield center Job Maverick. In college baseball, regular season Crossroads champion Taylor beat Indiana Wesleyan twice Monday, including the conference tournament championship game on a Fletcher Romich RBI single in the 9th, completing a comeback from 4-0 down after 2 innings. Luke Sutter was 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and scored twice for the 46-9 Trojans. Sutter also had a double and 2 RBIs in the day's first game, a 3-1 Taylor win. The conference champion earns a berth in the NAIA tournament. Anderson completed a 3-game sweep of Hanover with a 10-0 win Monday in the Ravens regular season finale. C.J. Williams and Justin Schachberger combined on a 4-hit shutout. The Ravens enter the Heartland Conference tournament at 25-14 and the 2nd seed in the tournament. They'll be joined in the conference tournament by top seed Manchester, Rose-Hulman, Transylvania, Mount St. Joseph's, and Franklin. The tournament will be played in Kokomo. And Hanover swept the Anderson softball team with a pair of one-run wins, 9-8 and 7-6 on Monday at Raven Field. In college women's golf, Purdue is in sixth place after the first of 3 days of the NCAA Women's Golf Regional at the Rawls course in Lubbock, Texas. Wake Forest leads Texas by 8 strokes and is 28 shots ahead of the Boilermakers. Purdue's Momo Sugiyama is tied for 8th overall on the individual scoreboard at +4, 8 strokes off Wake Forest Caroline Shakara's pace. Caroline Smith shot +2 and Madison DeBagia a +3 on the first day of the NCAA regional qualifier at King Trace in Lexington, Kentucky. Ball State's Jasmine Driscoll finished 4 over, with Florida State's Maribel Ting alone in the lead at -4, a shot ahead of Western Kentucky's Julia Zagrossi. In men's college basketball, Marion holds an 11-stroke lead over Taylor and a 20-stroke advantage on Indiana Wesleyan at the top of the championship scoreboard after day 2 of 3 at the Fort in Indianapolis. Indiana Wesleyan Sam Dykema leads Grace's Cameron Jones by a stroke for the tournament lead with 1 round left to play. IUK is 4th after 2 of 3 rounds in the River States Conference Championships at Glade Springs and Daniels, West Virginia. It's a close race at the top of the team standings. Rio Grande and West Virginia Tech are tied just 1 shot ahead of IU East. IUK is still in contention, just 7 shots back, and Midway is just a shot behind the Cougars. West Virginia Tech's Bryson Beaver has an 8-stroke lead. At the top of the individual board, IUK's Corin Robinson is 6th at +12. In high school baseball, Elwood scored 4 times in the 5th and beat Tipton 12-7 to improve to 5-8. Kelsey Arms went 2 for 4 with a double and 3 RBIs and has 24 RBIs in the Panthers' last 9 games. Lacey Bittner scored twice and drove in 2 for the 4-10 Blue Devils. Carson Wiley threw a 5-hit no-hitter, and Jolie Hawkins drove in 4 runs in Oak Hill's 13-0 win over Taylor. The Golden Eagles are now 9-4 and have won 4 of their last 5. Chloe Tanner and Ava Cainrath both had 3 RBIs, and Westfield beat Hamilton Heights 8-4. Cainrath hit her first career home run. Mackenzie Jackson and Cameron Roten both had a pair of RBIs for the Huskies. Jackson, a freshman, also hit her first varsity home run. Lucy George allowed just 2 runs, both unearned, on 3 hits, and went 2 for 4 at the plate with a couple of RBIs, as third-ranked Western beat Kokomo 5-2. Brindley Erb also drove in 2 runs, and Lexi Dolans had an RBI double for the 18-3 Panthers. Amira Marciniak had 2 hits, including a double for the Wildcats. Freshman Caitlin Bruns was 3 for 5 with a double, drove in 3 runs, and scored 3 times. And Delta's 19-5 win over Muncie Central. Caden Freiberger and Addie Smith both crossed the plate 3 times as well for the 5-10 Eagles. Some other scores of local interest: 3A number 1 New Pal beat Franklin 4-1. It was Western Boone 14, Clinton Prairie 3. Peru beat Manchester 8-1. Southwood beat Whitko 5-1. It was Union County 12, Monroe Central 2. Zionsville got past Lawrence North 15-2. 4A number 5 Cathedral beat 3A number 2 Roncalli 7-2. Greenwood 11, Warren Central 1. Tri 10, Winchester 0. And Kankakee Valley beat Rensselaer Central 12-4. In high school baseball, Madison Grant led Taylor 9-1 after 5 innings and beat the Titans 10-7 Monday. Levi Nelson doubled and drove in 3 runs, and Dylan Martin, Brayson Martin, and Chad Lamb all scored twice for the 11-6 Argyles. Brock Barnhart allowed just 1 run on 1 hit in his 4-inning start. Ty Freitas was 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI, but it wasn't enough in number 8 Pendleton Heights' 5-2 loss to Westfield. Jordan Williamson was 2 for 3, and Colin Axel Adams had an RBI single in the Arabian loss. 3A number 7 Western beat 2A number 8 Eastern 6-4 Monday, scoring 6 runs in the first inning. Charlie Brewer and Levi Shoemaker both had 2 RBI singles in the opening inning. Brady Comer went 2 for 3 for the 14-3 Panthers. Eastern drops to 14-5. Bryson Ziegler went 4 for 4 with a home run and drove in 6 runs in Daleville's 24-5 win over the Indiana School for the Deaf. Caleb Aiken and Aiden Ramirez drove in 4 runs apiece for the 7 and 6 Broncos. Some other regional scores of interest: Carmel beat Fishers 8-7. Hamilton Southeastern beat Lawrence North 4-2. It was 3A number 6 New Pal 14, Warren Central 1. Greenfield Central got past North Central 6-1. Columbus North edged Shelbyville 9-8. It was 4A number 2 Center Grove 3, Plainfield 2. Roncalli beat Avon 15-4. West Lafayette got past Rensselaer Central 2-1 in a Hoosier Conference game. 2A number 6 Central Catholic beat Class A number 9 Clinton Prairie 9-8. Mechaniqual 9, Cass 5, Whitco 12, Southwood 2. Peru beat Manchester 6-2. Union County slipped past Monroe Central 3-2. And Southern Wells got past Randolph Southern 5-4. Michelle Garman and I will break down Sunday's baseball and softball sectional draws in the next couple of days. We meant to do that Sunday, then again last night, but we have run out of time both nights. We'll get it done as soon as we can. On the local links, LaPel defeated rival Frankton 158-167 Monday at Edgewood. LaPel's Maverick Beeson was the medalist with a meet best 36. Isaac Fair, Jet Hyatt, and Ryder Shepard all shot 41s for Frankton. Tipton shot a team score of 157 and won a 3-way meet Monday against Kokomo and Lafayette Jeff. Calvin Condick shot a 36 and Preston Lancaster shot a 37 for the meet's top 2 scores. Host Alexandria topped Madison Grant 182-189 in a dual meet Monday. Bryce Yagi led the Argyles with a 48. The 189 marked a season best for the Argyles. Just a couple of matches in high school tennis. Tippecanoe Valley beat shorthanded Marion 5-0. Abing Dow and Kayla Hubert won their opening set, but lost 6-2, 6-2 in the final 2 sets at number 1 doubles for the Giants. Noblesville beat Pendleton Heights 4-1 by sweeping the singles matches, and they won 10-3 in the 3rd set tiebreaker at number 1 doubles. There was one track meet on Monday. Tipton's boys and Tri-Central's girls won a 3-way meet at Elwood on Monday. Jackson Muncie won the 1600 and 3200 for the Tipton boys. Augie Mueller won the 100 and 400 for the Trojans. Olivia Dempsey and Lillian Stewart led the Tri-Central girls. Dempsey won both hurdles events and Stewart won both throwing events. Tipton's Olivia Van Hook won the 100 and was part of 2 winning relay teams. And Elwood's girls got wins from Elysia Rivera, Millie Fitzpatrick, Madison Patton, and Allison McGuire. And now you know everything we know about Central Indiana sports. Thanks so much for listening. Always appreciate it. Don't forget, we are back here every weekday between 1 and 2 p.m. Come check it out every single day to stay informed. If you're interested in seeing the Central Indiana Sports Report continue to grow and thrive, all we ask is that you share these podcasts with your friends and family. We humbly thank you in advance. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.